Welcome back to the Full-Time Ultras. It was a week that finally showed that why the Premier League is becoming into Formula 1. Manchester City are the team that benefited because this week we didn't only have the traditional bottlers, but we have new bottlers in the Premier League. We're here to discuss maybe the eventuality that we were predicting in Manchester City becoming Premier League champions. And with this game week gone by, it looks that they are going to get 4 in a row. Uh, to discuss this, we've got myself. Obviously, people tell me I don't introduce myself, but I'm Shahan. And we've got Aditya and Raghav to get into it and analyze something we do not want to, but yeah, let's go ahead with it. And before we start off with the video, a kind request is we made a lot of gains this week, and we don't want to stop. So like and share and subscribe our videos. It doesn't take you anything to spend to do that. So do subscribe to our videos. We have a lot of content coming up. But yeah, let's get started with the video. And only one place to talk about the title race. And last week we were sitting over there and saying that Arsenal were the team that benefited. And then fast forward to a week and it is completely Manchester City. They've turned the tide completely. With two teams losing games that they should have won, considering what's going to come future. They're tougher games, like what Arsenal and Liverpool are going to face. But both teams go in. Liverpool start off, they lose their game. Arsenal couldn't back that up. They lose that game. What just happened? I'll start with you, Aditya. What just happened this week?
Unbelievable because, as you said, these two, Liverpool and Arsenal should have won those games. They had so many chances. They just didn't take any of them, like for various reasons. Poor finishing, really good defending. I don't know. So when I watched Liverpool, at one point in that game, I was like, yeah, this is not happening for Liverpool because the number of chances and the quality of the chances that they were missing every 5 minutes, we're like, how have they missed? And they just kept missing. And then, after a certain point, it's like, yeah, that's not happening. But then to see Arsenal do the same exact thing in the very next game, I didn't think both of them would, slip up on the same kind of day. I'm just shocked that it's like we all predicted City title, but then we thought it would be like a tougher game.
It would potentially go on.
Oh yeah,
Till the end.
Yes.
It could still, but it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, and their home games as well. That's the biggest aspect of this whole thing. They both lost at home. I'm just stunned, honestly.
Before this game week, when I was writing about when I was covering City and when I was covering Crystal Palace and Liverpool, I was writing about the odds. Liverpool went with a 1.30 in terms of their betting odds, and Crystal Palace were at 24. The odds, and that's let's talk about Liverpool and Crystal Palace because Aston Villa are doing well, right? They are potentially going to qualify for the Champions League, but for Crystal Palace, they were winless in. I think this was Oliver Glasner's second win, and the first win of his was the first game. Was the first game he managed. That was his win, and this is only his second win. Liverpool have not lost a home game in nearly a season, right? They lost last season against Leeds, and since then they have not lost a single game at home. Such has been the dominance of theirs at Anfield. What did Crystal Palace get right in that game, Raghav, or did Liverpool get it wrong?
I think it's a bit of both. That Crystal Palace came with a right game plan, that they wanted to hit Liverpool on the counter because they knew that Liverpool are under more pressure to win this game than they are. Because Crystal Palace are more than happy to take a point back with them.
Yeah.
Because if they get a point,
anything
it's a
at
big
Anfield
result.
is a bonus. Yeah.
So if they're getting
I
anything,
feel
it's a
even
big
if
bonus.
sorry, just to interject, I feel even if Crystal Palace don't get crushed 5 or 6-0, or if they just get beat 2-1, that is also a big result.
For them, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At Anfield, considering the dominance that this was the first home game that Liverpool lost in 14 months.
Yeah.
The fact that you mentioned, it's been 14 months since their last home game defeat. So that's how dominant they've been here. And Crystal Palace just came with a good game plan that they want to hit on the counter, and they did it well. Even even the goal that they scored, it wasn't a counter attack goal. It was
They
built,
played
it,
through.
It was,
You
it was
could
bu-
see
yeah,
Klopp
exactly.
applauding, and being like, "Wow!"
Exactly.
You know?
It was built well, and I think that eventually Oliver Glasner wants to implement such a philosophy, and he's succeeding to a certain extent in his initial days as well. So I think they executed what they wanted. They got their goal early, and then they just set up shop in front of their goal, and they were like, break us down, break us down, break us down. And in all honesty, Liverpool should have.
Yeah.
They got it wrong because woeful finishing, awful, horrible finishing. Curtis Jones, Diogo Jota, Mohamed Salah, Endo, you name it. Everyone had a chance to score a goal, but they just couldn't. So I think it's just both of Liverpool getting it wrong and Crystal Palace getting it right.
Crystal Palace have been a bogey team for a lot of these big opponents. I
Yeah.
remember them going to Etihad last season. This season as well, they got a
Yeah.
2-2 draw
Yeah.
over there. I also remember writing that, if Crystal Palace can draw inspiration from those games, like, because I obviously have to give, in my predictions, I have to kind of say that what would Crystal Palace do to beat Liverpool?
Yeah.
And then I just thought that I can't get much points, but I can think of that. Yeah, they have got a result at the Etihad this
Yeah.
season. They have won. They have won at the Etihad numerous times in the previous seasons as well.
Yeah.
They won at Old Trafford this season as
Yeah.
well. So they can go to teams and they can be like, yeah, we'll get a goal or two, and then we can shut shop and we can do it. So I felt that Crystal Palace needed to draw inspiration from their previous games,
Yeah.
and they kind of did it because they could have been 2-0 up as well. The chance that it was Mateta, I think.
Mateta.
Yes.
Mateta
Robertson,
misses is, I don't know how he misses
Yeah.
that as well. But when we talk about Liverpool, they've had that slide. Like, ever since they lost with United at the FA Cup,
Yeah.
it's been a downward spiral. Like, it's been crumbling down for them a little bit. The Atlanta game surely has taken out confidence from them. And we sitting here, we predicted that maybe Liverpool will find it difficult in the games ahead. But surely this was not the game we thought that they're going to drop points.
Yeah, of course not. And I mean, the cruelty of this whole situation is that you can kind of draw parallels to Istanbul and how Crystal Palace, cost Liverpool the title all those years back as well. But yeah, I don't think anyone expected Liverpool to drop points in this game, let alone lose outright. But as you said, it's been a torrid week for them, and now they're going up against Atlanta again, and God knows, like, they were dreaming of a potential quadruple, and I mean,
बस Carabao Cup मिलेगा.
yeah, like
Shattered dreams.
it does look like shattered dreams at this point, and they're going to have to show up massively. I mean, if you would say that Liverpool are a side who are mentally strong enough to do that.
I think at Anfield you could have said yeah.
Yeah,
But the
maybe.
second leg being and they also have to consider that they need to rest players
Yes, exactly.
because they have a game coming up later as well. So how many players would they risk for a 3-0
Yeah,
deficit, knowing that now already they have lost charge to City and now they cannot afford any more injuries because they are weak, especially on the fullback because Connor Bradley has gone out injured.
yes.
So they have to get in Trent a little
Yeah,
bit. Do you risk Trent from the start? Do you give him 50 minutes, whatever?
Yeah.
Like Joe Gomez can play over there, but
yeah.
still they have to manage minutes.
Yeah, they do. And it's a very tough situation for them because of, like, we spoke about how their injury situation can impact this title race and like as we are approaching its end. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better for them. So I don't know, it's a bit of a conflict here because you can't also be like, oh, it may be better for them to just lose this game and drop out of Europa altogether and focus on the league, because this game could be such a massive confidence boost if they do win it, and especially if they do progress from here, they can also ride that momentum till the end of the season. And it's not all over because it's still 2 points and it's a one game swing. If City drop points somewhere and Liverpool continue winning, then
Correct.
they're again on top. So it's not the end of the world, but Liverpool have been shaky for a good chunk of the season, I'd say, and they have been kind of the least convincing of the three, and it seems to be finally catching up to them.
And also considering the games that have to come for them.
Yeah.
They do have to face Spurs, right? They do have to travel to Villa as well, I think, if I'm not wrong.
I think Villa is.
No, sorry, I got it. They do have Spurs.
Yeah.
They have another fixture. I think
I
I'll
think
just
City
cross-check.
Villa. City Villa हो गया.
Yeah, but it was a little bit of a tougher.
Spurs.
I'll have to check it
Spurs
out.
And,
But yeah, it is considering in terms of the three, City have the easier ride.
yeah, of course.
So Liverpool do have to buck up in terms of that. They can, because this was a very bad game to lose points. You cannot afford to like lose to Crystal Palace at home.
I think that in our last virtual session that Raghu had mentioned the fact that they have a bit of wiggle room. Liverpool are the only team who have some wiggle room. He was mentioning the fact they've kind of lost that wiggle room. They don't have that anymore because they basically had a wiggle room that they could draw a game, maybe a tricky away game, a mid-table team which they were playing away. They had the wiggle room to draw that fixture, not even lose, let alone losing to a bottom half team at home. That was not something that they could afford to do. They've done it. The wiggle room is gone. So the Arsenal fan jinx has worked.
So I was right.
Yeah,
they do
it is
have
Villa.
to travel to Villa
Travel to Villa.
They
on the
travel to Villa
second last day,
game week,
second
yeah.
last game week of the season, and they do have Spurs at home as well. And those games are back to back.
Yeah.
And they also have to face Fulham and Everton, which is a double game week right now. Both away games as well. Considering them also traveling to Europe away.
Yeah.
So it's 3 back-to-back away games.
Yes.
So they really need the Atlanta game to pan out for them to kind of get some confidence going into it. Because we saw Everton, but that was away. Maybe in a Merseyside derby, Everton could turn up. You never know.
Yeah.
But Fulham have been fantastic.
Yeah.
They've been playing so well. It's really a difficult fixture run for Liverpool as well.
Just deduct 2 more points from Everton and they'll play like prime Barca.
No, I think the point deduction scenario is done. I think
Yeah.
there's nothing more. I think maximum Everton can appeal again, but I don't think that's going to change as well. They'll be happy because I think Everton are safe. I don't think they're going down. But quick thoughts, Raghav, on Liverpool. Like, you were championing this side a lot from the start of the season, saying that they could do it. It's their season to do. Where does that leave you now, considering what has happened and what is to come? What do you make of Liverpool
Yeah,
now?
It seems very bleak now. It's gone from confirmed champions, like my favorites to win it, to very bleak. I won't put them out of it, of course, because you never know in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Aditya on the point that the Atlanta game is everything for them. For me, it's everything, because if it doesn't pan out, then they can focus on the league, of course. But if they do Barca, if they do something on the lines of that, then the momentum that they get will be unreal, and they can just ride that momentum and take it over the next 5 Premier League games, and who knows.
So with that, let's quickly move on to what Arsenal did, because if I am Arsenal, I am those players over there, right? I watch Liverpool drop. That was a game which was before Arsenal played.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's before Arsenal.
If I am an Arsenal player, I'm looking at that and I'm like, bro, this is our chance.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Like, let's make this 3-horse race a 2-horse race, and let's get Liverpool out of it, and let's have just one team to focus on rather than having 2 teams to focus on, which obviously is what you want, right? And Arsenal just do an Arsenal, right? Aston Villa away have not been the best of teams. Kudos to Aston Villa, they did really well, but Arsenal had a lot of chances to kill the game off in the first half. What went wrong for them? Is it like a Arsenal just doing an Arsenal and crumbling at this time? Is it a mentality issue like we keep talking about? What went wrong for them?
I don't know. I just think it's one of those days. And again, like the Liverpool situation, they had the chances. I think tactically Arteta got it spot on, because especially in that first half, the sort of gamble to play Jesus up front and then use Havertz as a late arrival into the box. The number of chances Havertz did get by doing that, I mean, you would expect him to put at least one of those away, especially given the form he's in right now. And even without that, Jesus had a header at the far post. I think you had...
which he has to score.
Yeah, he has to score. He hits the side netting from there. He has to either score or he has to pull it back across.
Keep it on target.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. I mean, they're poor misses for that level, I'd say. I don't know. I think even Saka hit the side netting from a tightish angle, but like they had a lot of chances. Sure, Villa did give them a few warning shots going the other way on the counter, but I didn't really feel like Arsenal were too threatened by Villa. I feel like Arsenal were pretty much the better side for most of that game till Villa and eventually went and scored. So it just happened to be one of those days where nothing went right for them, and it's cost them dearly at this point.
We keep saying that Arsenal miss those puzzles, those pieces in the team, which makes them like from a contender to champions, right? We talk about a striker up front that could have been in Jesus's position to put that in. We talk about a left back, right? I just don't know when I see the goal, the first goal. Like, what is Zinchenko doing at right back? How has he landed over there? It wasn't a corner or anything like that. Why is he at the right back position? Why does Declan Rice need to mark Aston Villa's right winger? What was that, Raghav?
I seriously can't comprehend what was going on there, because the only possible explanation you could have given is that it was set piece chance for like you said.
Yeah.
It's not a corner, it's not a free kick, that the defensive line was such that Zinchenko ended up at right back and he had to press the man or something like that. I don't know how he has ended up there, and there's no possible explanation for it, and I think it's Arsenal doing an Arsenal. Simple, plain and simple. And it's...
Do you think it's a mentality issue?
I've always been there. Like ever since the start of the season, whenever you ask me, I've said that Liverpool are champions, and there is a mentality issue at Arsenal, and they seem to choke when pressure comes in, and
When they have to do it.
They choke, and it shows. It has shown that it was the best chance they could have had to eliminate Liverpool from the title race, more or less. But they've gone and just dropped 3 points and given the title to City.
Because when you look at the Arsenal fixtures, right? Before this game, they had Aston Villa at home. You have Wolves away. You have Chelsea at home. You have Spurs away. You have Bournemouth at home. You have United away, and you have Everton at home. Surely, Mikel Arteta, when he has these fixtures on the board, he's over there saying that the home games we have to win. There is no chance that we can drop. The fixture list is pretty tough actually when you look at it.
Considering the form of those teams,
Exactly.
it's very tricky.
And I remember it's so reminiscent of last season as well, when Brighton come at home and just turn them over. I've been sitting here saying that Arsenal have to be judged, and considering how they've obviously been much better compared to what they were last season. There is an improvement. But it's again at this time that when they need to go to the fifth gear, they just end up crashing. Where does that leave Arsenal now?
It leaves them nowhere, of course, because you just have to deliver in those moments. You have no other option. When your big guns have to deliver, your Declan Rice has to step up, your Odegaards, your the big stars that you say that you have in your team, they have to deliver.
Yeah.
And like he said, the quality of chances that they missed, Gabriel Jesus missed, and Havertz had a couple of good chances and he's missed those. They need to convert even half chances at this stage.
Yeah.
You just need to take whatever comes your way.
You've named two players in Declan Rice and Odegaard, which I felt they had a fantastic game.
Oh, yeah.
I think Odegaard was brilliant
he was
in that.
so good.
I think he
Odegaard comes off and the goals go in.
Yeah, exactly.
And both the goals go in. So I don't even know what that substitution was, because you cannot remove your captain.
No, he said that Odegaard
was it
feeling
injury?
Yeah, he was feeling something in his calf or anything.
But he's
like that.
fully training is what I've heard. He's
Maybe.
back in full training.
Maybe Maybe it was a
basically,
precautionary.
yeah.
But I just feel that in a game where you have to kind of have your key man on, you have to have your key man on. I don't think that every game for them is like a final when you're up facing against City. So I think removing, Odegaard is such a magnet in the middle of the field. He keeps the ball, he retains the ball,
Yeah.
right? And when you remove him and I know you bring in Jorginho who can do that, but Odegaard's incision is different compared to Jorginho, and that I think that completely changed the game.
Though I think we have the benefit of hindsight with that because again at that stage it was still 0-0, so it's he must have been thinking, oh, it's better to take Odegaard off and preserve him for the next few games rather than lose him for the next 2-3, which could be even more trickier in terms of teams sitting back and low blocking them or something. So I can understand why I did it at that point. I wouldn't find too much fault with it, and Jorginho is a player who has worked for them quite well, especially this year. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't want to read too much into how they lost the game, because I think for the most part they did well. Obviously, they didn't take their chances, and you're right. When you're going up against City, you have to win every game. So
when you're going up, that's what I'm trying to say, Aditya. Like, the most important game is the game you're playing.
yeah,
So that's where I am thinking that forget 2 games down the line what's going to happen. You have to win the game that you are winning at the moment, because you losing this game, maybe the next 2 games do not matter, right? Like maybe if Odegaard is on the field, or maybe he's playing through a barrier or something like that, Arsenal do end up winning that game. Like we have seen Odegaard on the pitch and against even Brentford, they've gone out and he's not been the assister, but he's got pre-assists so many times. So he's like a difference maker. And for me, I basically felt is Arsenal lost control over that game when Odegaard left. So that's my take as to if he has a little bit of a niggle, think about what you have at the moment rather than thinking that what might happen. So that's where I felt he got it wrong. Sorry, you were saying.
yeah. No, I understand that thought process, but also I think it's a bit different because just like with Liverpool, this loss, sure, they have a very tough kind of schedule, but this loss doesn't leave them miles behind, because it's only 2 points, and if Arsenal continue winning and if City slip up somewhere, then they are also, like, Arsenal are also above City. So I think in the the grander scheme of things, I understand why he's done what he's done, because you can't afford to lose a player like Odegaard for a long term to a long term injury, because like that then dooms you totally. This is 2 points. If you lose him for like 5-6 games, especially like Spurs away, United away, Chelsea at home, you're done. So I can understand it.
Quickly, where does that leave Arsenal now?
It's a bit different from Liverpool, I feel, because just because of the difficulty of the fixtures that are coming up
They
for
have
them.
Bayern as well.
Oh yeah, they have Bayern as well, and Bayern away is going to be tough. I mean, their season, they just have to take it game to game right now, because they can't afford to slip up any more than
It's
this.
a tough run.
Exactly,
Coming up.
it's a very difficult run. It's the most difficult run of the 3 that are in the title race so far as of right now. And I remember sitting here and saying that at this stage we would expect, like, we would be saying that, I remember he said that City he'd rather have Arsenal's run than City's run, and I told him no, because City would rather, like, Arsenal at this point have a lot to lose, still can slip up a lot more, and that's why I think they've always had the toughest run, and it's just not in their hands anymore.
Because just to come to City,
Yeah.
because they've been the winners. Like you don't even need to dissect that game against Luton, because
Yes.
they have steamrolled over them
Yeah.
basically, right? You look at their fixture list, which is coming, right? You have Brighton away, Nottingham Forest away, you have Wolves at home, Fulham away, West Ham at home, and Spurs, right? They have
Yeah.
Spurs in the middle.
Yes.
for me, it's just Spurs which is tricky,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Liverpool and Arsenal have 2 to 3 games, like we discussed in the last episode with Dave and Rohit, that
Yeah.
Arsenal, if you look at the fixture difficulty ratings of all this,
Yeah.
Arsenal and Liverpool potentially have 2 games minimum, easily,
Minimum 2, yeah.
that they can lose points in. But
Yeah.
when I look at Manchester City, it's just one game. And considering what happened to Spurs, we'll get to Spurs. Considering what
Yeah.
happened to Spurs,
Yeah.
it's basically wrapped up for
Yeah.
me. I feel it's wrapped up. It's done. Do you echo that quickly before we move on?
You'd expect that from City, but like you've said, there's been a certain frailty to this side. So at this stage, it's unpredictable. The safest bet is obviously City
It's just
title.
hope.
Yeah, honestly, it is hope. At the safest bet for sure is City title, and I don't think from here anyone expects them to lose it. But again, you never know.
Raghav, quickly.
No, I feel it's done and dusted as well, because the run in the next 5 games for Liverpool and Arsenal are, I don't know, like,
I can see them dropping points. There's no way that they're winning 5 and all. They're not.
no, they're not. Arsenal, of course, not, because I hope that they lose at Old Trafford.
I'll make a bold prediction. I'll say City are winning this with 2 game weeks to spare.
2 game weeks to spare.
Yes.
It's possible actually.
City are winning this title in game week 36 or 37.
Damn. Okay.
This is not going to the last day of the season.
No, I feel it's going to the last day of the season for sure, but I
It's
think
not.
City are going to take it.
It's
Like,
not. Who's going to take them to the last day of the season?
Probably Liverpool.
Liverpool?
Probably Liverpool.
I don't think so.
Of the two,
I think Liverpool have the better chance of taking
Because
it
I
Exactly.
can
to the-
I can
sorry,
definitely
not Chelsea.
assure you
City to the last
I
day.
can definitely assure you between these 3 games, Fulham, Everton, West Ham, they are not taking points from one of these games. They are not winning all 3 games. They are not getting 9 points from these 3 games. And then after that, it's Spurs home and Villa away. Do you think they can go on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? They can. Do you think Liverpool at this stage, this moment, can beat Fulham away, Everton away, West Ham away, Spurs at home, and Aston Villa away?
I honestly think so.
Wait. You said they had 3 Premier League games away back to back.
Yeah.
3
Plus the
back-to-back
Atlanta.
away games.
Yeah.
Plus Atlanta. So 4 away games. They are not at Anfield for 4
Till
games.
Spurs.
Till Spurs at home.
Oh my god.
So as of now, they just have 2 home games to play.
That's
In the
Spurs
Premier
and
League.
last day.
That is Spurs and last day.
Well,
Do you think Liverpool can do it?
I think they can. I honestly think they can. I think they're capable of it, and I know. I know I've sat here saying that City are City and they're a juggernaut, but I've started questioning City as well, just a little bit. So I don't know if City go through this rest of the season winning all the games. I know that's the safe bet, but I'm not so sure anymore.
but Premier League is Premier League.
I
Yeah.
think the differentiators because City have been there, man.
Yeah, they have. That's true.
They know how to get by games because
Yeah.
But they somehow have that.
for me, you
missing-
cannot account
there's
Liverpool
something
in this
missing.
because the core of Liverpool has changed. A lot
Yeah.
of players who last won the title have gone. Like Salah has been regressing, injury
midfield is
issues,
gone.
he's not been fit. The midfield is different. Centre back pairing,
Is Van
Trent
Dijk and
has not
someone,
been there consistently. Robertson is just back from injury. He's losing his legs as well. Darwin is Darwin, like he's world class on a day, and he's totally like a League 2 striker on a bad day. So Jota has just come in, right? There's been fluctuation in terms of form. So I cannot see them giving much as I would like for it to go till the end of the season. I think City have it wrapped up by 37. That's what I would predict.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's possible. For sure, it's
I don't
possible.
know.
Anyway, it's another sport that is just becoming. I hope it doesn't become like the Bundesliga. I hope we have a Leverkusen story soon. One of our teams do it. But yeah, it was a very interesting week for the neutrals, especially watching the title run in. But also when it comes to the Champions League, we've had 2 more teams that have come into the picture because the English teams have been doing really poor at the European stage. So I don't think fifth spot is going to get the Premier League a Champions League berth. But even for Europa League, 2 more teams have come in. We'll kind of do a comprehensive overview of this. Let's first of all start off with one of the most dominating displays we thought it was last season, but it was again. It happened this season as well.
Yeah.
It's Newcastle and Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham were whitewashed in this game completely from the start. Like there was shade. We thought that Spurs have progressed. It's not going to be what happened last season. And then there were spells in this game where I thought that, and Isaac had a lot more chances.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's just got 2 goals in this game. He should have had 4,
True.
right? He should have accompanied Cole Palmer in
Yeah.
having doing a quadruple in this game.
Yeah.
That's just for your FPL reasons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What a player
Obviously.
he's been. If he continues to back me, I might need to get a Sweden jersey with Isaac on my back. But anyway, Spurs are another team that are losing momentum in this crucial. Spurs are doing a Spurs, like a lot of people say.
Yeah.
They're losing momentum in this crucial battle. And I think Villa, with this win at
Yeah.
Arsenal, have kind of like
Yeah.
laid claim, have caught, have
True.
one hand on that Champions League position. What do we make of Tottenham and what do we make of Newcastle? Because they have bought themselves right back into the Europa League spots that United, West Ham, Chelsea will talk about. It's the heat. The race is getting pretty heated.
Think that it's got pretty interesting just because we're shit.
Yeah.
So we're just very accommodating of all the other teams की सबको मौका
We
मिलना चाहिए
dropped
ना.
at the wrong time, I feel.
सबको
United
मौका
have
मिलना चाहिए. हम क्यों अकेले खेलें? हम क्यों फोर्थ स्पॉट जाए? हम 6 के लिए लड़ेंगे. उसके लिए ज्यादा कंपटीशन आएगा तो सबके साथ खेलने में और मजा आएगा. इनको शांति से रहने नहीं देना ना हम लोग को मेंटल पीस की. So sorry, coming back to it, I think Villa have they've taken control of the race and basically it's theirs to lose. You would
fourth
say
spot, yes.
fourth spot is theirs to lose. It's kind of along the same lines that City are in. Like if they win their games, they're through, and they can even afford to lose one game. I feel that because with that Newcastle loss, which I want, with that 4-goal deficit, they've suffered with goal difference as
Goal
well.
difference has got hit.
So they've gone below Villa in terms of goal difference, and that is that is another advantage that Villa have got.
So when you
Yeah.
look at the Premier League table, 63 points for Aston Villa, 4th place. Spurs have played a game less, right? And they are on 60 points. So Villa have a 3-point advantage over Spurs, plus they have a game in hand. When you move on to 6th, you have Newcastle with 50 points from 32 games, tied with Manchester United, who are on 7th with the same point difference. Goal difference of United is shit.
But 31 games played, right?
Who?
No.
United 32.
32.
All 32.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
West Ham 33. though.
West Ham 33 with 48 points, so 2 points behind Newcastle and Manchester United, playing a game more. And then right behind them, out of like doing an undertaker, are Chelsea, straight out from the coffins. 31 played, so they've played a game lesser, but they're on 47 points. So, and the game in hand is against Arsenal. Quickly, like just to wrap up on the Newcastle performance, they've been peaking at the right time. They still have injury issues, but I just want to put in a quick word for the duo in Anthony Gordon and
Yeah.
Isaac. For me, especially Anthony Gordon, because he was predominantly bought in as a player who plays on the left-hand side. But just to accommodate Harvey Barnes, he's come in on the right and he didn't put a foot wrong. He's brilliant. And he's one of those traditional wingers who has everything in him. He can score a goal, he can assist, he can put in a good cross, which I find like is diminishing from
Yes.
the new winger. Like,
Yeah, the inverted winger trend has come on too
exactly,
much.
right? You do not see a good cross coming in,
Yeah.
right? Like a Beckhamish
Yeah.
cross. That's going away from the game.
Yeah.
And when I see Anthony Gordon, it's like he's like a vintage winger, but he has a lot of modern aspects to his game as well. We've spoken on the group quickly. His 50 million is just looking like a steal for him. And Newcastle have really got a player in their hands. What do you make of
Yeah,
it?
I mean, when Lampard wanted to sign him for Chelsea, you all thought he was mad. But, like, come on, what a player. Like, I didn't think he'd be this good. And
But just to be honest, like Gordon
Yeah.
wouldn't have worked in Chelsea. Like that's why I said the environment also
yeah.
makes a
Oh
big
yeah, for
difference
sure, for
because
sure, for sure.
so many and that moods in for my club as well.
Yeah.
It's not like we've signed trash players,
Yeah.
right? We've signed players with good potential,
Yeah.
but the you need to have a good environment for these
for
players
sure.
to flourish in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, but the point is that there is a player
exactly.
a player.
Lampard
in
worked
him.
with him, and he
Exactly.
did well at Everton for
Everton,
Lampard
yes,
as well.
exactly. And like he put Van der Ven on his backside as well.
Twice.
Yeah, I mean Isaac did it once and then.
Yeah. Twice.
and
Yeah, but
yeah.
went for a hot dog 2 times.
Yeah,
He
quite-
wasn't full
Total
with
3
one.
times.
Yeah.
Then
He
Exact
wasn't
twice.
full with one, so he
Yeah.
went for another one in the space of a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Like the 29 and 31 it was. But yeah, both of them really, really crucial. I mean, Isaac's got a lot of plaudits. Gordon's kind of flown under the radar a bit. He's another one who's really knocking on that door for England. where
Has
this-
to travel.
I mean,
Has to be there in the squad.
2 words for you, Gareth Southgate. Like you don't know this guy. But yeah, phenomenal player, and he's really picking it up when Newcastle needed the most, because they were in a bit of a slump, and they were at one point they were 10th or 9th, like they were 9th, 10th in that area, and now that these two have really picked Newcastle up from the ground, and they're like, no, we are carrying you. They're back up. Of course, helped no doubt by United just dropping off.
And even Spurs.
Even Spurs, yeah, and I like there's still a bit of a gap, but anyway.
It's a North London thing.
Quickly on Spurs, they have a horrible fixture lineup coming. And this was the fixture we thought that they should have got
The
something
best chance
from
to
it,
win.
to win at least for the next 4 games.
Of course. They're doomed.
I am sensing a big downfall
They're doomed.
for them.
They're
Because-
finished.
You look at the next 4 games, Spurs could end up being 10th.
They're
Yeah,
gone. They're finished.
yeah, they're like what? You have 3 title challenges coming with a vengeance. Each like
Each having a mission.
exactly. All 3 of them will want absolutely nothing less than 3 points.
With Chelsea in there as well.
Exactly, and we are I
Breathing
mean,
down to the necks.
we don't know what I mean. We'll come to Chelsea in a bit, I guess, but basically unpredictable. But those 3, especially Liverpool, Arsenal, and City, they're not going to accept anything less than 3 points. So Spurs are in for a torrid.
You never know. Spurs could be the ones who are deciding the Premier League title.
Yeah, I mean, you never know whom they could pull out a result against. And City have struggled at.
Yeah, their City's record at Tottenham has been very bad.
at the London-
They've been their bogey team.
Yeah, for sure. And like that could come into play. So you never know, but conventional wisdom would say that they're absolutely screwed.
At one point, they were favourite to finish 4th.
Yeah,
but
I said
it's-
that sitting here. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it's
That's going to be clipped, isn't it?
it looks really bleak for them at the moment.
Yeah.
Another team that things look bleak for is our team. It was a horrible showing at
Vitality.
the Vitality Stadium. We spoke about the controversies. If you've missed it, we'll put a link over there. So just go and check it out. But totally overturned by Bournemouth in the first half. Bournemouth should have definitely killed that game in the second half. In the first half itself. I also did not think that was a penalty. It wasn't a penalty for me. I know you felt
I think it was.
Which one?
was
The
the
one you all
second
got.
one which
Kambwala.
we got.
No,
No,
the one
which
that
we
you all
got.
got.
It
The
was a
handball.
penalty.
I didn't feel it. I think it was really harsh. If it happened against me, I wouldn't.
No, because the main thing that I went was he went like this. He did. There was a movement towards the ball with his hand, but if he doesn't get the ball, it's going straight to Rashford.
I don't think that's as much a deciding factor as the distance the ball travels after the deflection.
Bro, I have seen
Exactly.
decisions like this not being given. Like
I
I know,
Shahan,
I know I shouldn't be comparing apples to oranges, but I just felt if it
Like,
was
I
against
feel
me,
like-
I would have felt really
no,
undone.
I feel like these movements, these are something that you need to give handballs for, and it's not that he's just banged the ball towards him and he had no time to react. He had the ball has traveled a fair distance.
Yeah.
He knows. He
I
probably
agree, yeah.
knows that there's a player behind him.
Hmm.
That if he leaves the ball, it leaves him in a threatening situation against that player, being Marcus Rashford. But it's not threatening against Rashford these days.
Hmm.
But if if मैं क्या बोल रहा था यार? हाँ, if he doesn't, अरे यार,
Yeah, you take. But I'll just move on with you, Aditya. You can think about it. We've often been criticizing Bruno
Referees. Oh, Bruno.
a lot.
Yeah.
He goes through a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
But there's a player that shows up when it needs to. And I just feel that how difficult would have been if Bruno was not on that pitch
That's
against
true.
Bournemouth, because that finish, first time finish, is really so good.
Yeah.
Pressure. Also to finish the penalty, which is also a tricky situation. I wanted to ask you one thing. What I noticed, you know what they did at the Vitality Stadium?
What?
Yeah.
Do you know they flooded one side of the pitch?
Oh, they
So
did?
the first half that
Wherever
were
United
attacking,
were playing,
Yeah.
they flooded it entirely.
Oh, wow.
so the
Now,
pitch was
yeah.
the pitch was watered. The United half that way they were attacking, the pitch United were attacking was watered 4 minutes more than the other pitch.
You could, so on the TV, you could literally
You could see
see
splashes of water.
splashes
when the
of
ball was
water
traveling.
completely. The ball is not rolling at all, which United
So
like
it's
to do
slowing
with the
down.
likes of Menu,
Yeah,
just
obviously,
to
yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah.
And United were badly struggling.
Yeah.
Because if you also see, like, we blame Garnacho's involvement, but when Garnacho takes that touch, the
ball
ball
stops.
shouldn't slow down that
Yeah,
much. It
yeah.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I have never seen, I don't know whether this is part of the rules, whether you can do it, whether that's, if you have to do it, you have to do it maybe for the whole field. I don't know how
No, it's just
how
home
it
team
works.
advantage that they've taken.
I haven't seen any other team do it. I
It
have never
happens
seen
with-
for one half of the field. I have never seen it. I have
Yeah.
seen Stoke do it for the entire field,
Yeah.
but for one half, I have never seen it.
I don't think that nobody.
I think that was pretty shitty.
it
what they
is,
did.
but I don't think that there's any rule against it. That's why
Yeah.
they've just taken that it's not written, so it's not an offense.
Yeah.
They've gone down those lines and said that you never said that we can't do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think they found a loophole there.
Exactly.
Do you think
And-
it's a shitty move? Do you think they should both the fields, both the halves should
I mean,
be
yeah.
done?
I mean, all, like in this. In
If you have to make a rule, if you're part of the governing body, would you do it?
Yeah, of course. In the interest of like fairness and and even kind of like you do it on both sides, then it's fine. Like then like both teams are playing through the same thing. I know it's kind of disadvantages to one team and advantages to the other, but still it is still evenly done. So I think I would get it because I've seen teams do that, like you said, Stoke, Madrid
For the whole
famously.
field, yes.
Madrid famously do that against Barcelona in the Jose Mourinho era. They used to water the Bernabeu pitch so that the ball does not travel as much. But if you do that for the whole pitch, I agree with you. That's fine. I think this is a bit unsportsmanlike, but if they found a loophole and it worked for them, then
But
sure.
I personally wouldn't mind it if I was a Bournemouth fan.
yeah. Why
Yeah,
why
but
would
like,
you mind?
No. I'm saying that any team that does it, I wouldn't mind because it's a home stadium and you're taking some sort of advantage, sort of advantage that you have.
Yeah.
You will take it. So
It's
I don't think that
it's a
it's
kind
the-
of a situation where like if you're a fan of the team that's doing it, then you're fine with it. If you're the fan of the team that's suffering from it, then you're probably not fine
like
with it.
maybe as a United fan I've suffered, but even
Yeah, like
even if it's happened against me in the weekend, I wouldn't mind doing it as well.
yeah, fair
So
enough.
I'm
Quickly,
kind of that,
Bruno's contribution in the game.
amazing. Like he stepped up. He's the amount of criticism he gets that he rolls over, he falls off. He's the only one who shows passion. Like he shows that I want to wear this badge, I want to wear this jersey, I want to play for this team. He's the only one who shows that. He shows
I think
that.
he and Hoyland, apart from the defense, when you look at them after 90 minutes, you feel that they've played 90 minutes. When you
Yeah.
look at their shirt.
Yeah. Like others
Unless-
feel like, aha bhai, मतलब, ठीक है.
Other players who have crisp white shirts just come out from the
Let's
laundry.
for another show.
For another show.
For
Yeah, we
another
have to run it along. We'll quickly get in Chelsea.
Yeah.
A really good game last night, which
Yeah.
you slept through.
Yeah.
I don't know
Best
how
game.
that happened. I'm like, on the group, we are like, how are both these Chelsea fans
किधर है भाई?
sleeping?
किधर है?
Bhai?
किधर है?
When was the last time you all won? What? 5-6? No?
6-0.
6-0?
It was. It's been a long time.
Maybe
I don't
Arsenal.
even remember. I don't.
2015-16.
I don't even remember how long it's been. I think there was a Southampton 5-0 or something under Tuchel.
On a
I
scale of
think-
1 to 10, how shocked were you when you got up and saw that scoreline?
Pretty shocked because you come up against a team like Everton who are good at set pieces, and Chelsea have been so bad at defending them. I for sure thought this was going to be another one of those taken. Like if I had been watching that match live, I would have been like 1-0, 2-0. Oh, this is not safe. We're going to get pegged back 2-3, whatever it is. But 6-0.
I think when I saw that game,
Amazing.
Everton were really wasteful as well because I think Beto was really
Oh,
poor
yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
game. Because
I
if you
did-
have Calvert-Lewin, the misses, he's
Yeah,
horrible. Like
100%.
because Chelsea often crumble when you score against them.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they get a goal out of nowhere, because I thought that even at 3-0, if Beto scores that chance and
Yeah.
makes it 3-1,
Correct.
Chelsea are
Correct.
they are
Under
going
pressure.
to they're going to crumble. Quick word on Cole Palmer.
What running out of superlatives, 45 million's a steal. He's top of the golden boot race, joint with Haaland,
Equal joint.
but more assists. So.
More assists. So he gets it if it stays
yeah.
up to
Oh, okay.
Is that no? Or I think the Premier League doesn't work.
I
that
don't
way.
know how.
No,
it
I don't
works.
think it works that
They
way because
share
there
it.
was
No,
that
because that three-way
three-way
tie,
If you
Yeah.
guys know it, jot it down in the
yeah,
comments.
I think
please.
it doesn't work that way. But also the quickest perfect hat trick in Premier League history. Left foot, right foot header. That's
perfect.
a perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
perfect.
was a perfect hat trick, yes.
Yeah, 29 minutes. That's the quickest in Premier League history. And yeah, what?
Sorry. Continue.
But yeah, you just run out of superlatives, and without him, I don't know where we are. I just don't. He's just been brilliant.
वो 8th को 18th कर दे.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not that bad with the point deductions, but you know.
All in all, a good game for Chelsea. But one thing really marred that, and let's get into it.
Yeah. Oh
Because
God.
I'm not a Chelsea fan, but when I look at something like that, I'm like, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is that?
Embarrassing.
Like, Jackson, Madueke should be bowing their heads to Palmer and saying that go take it. You're in a bloody golden boot race. How can you be so selfish? And I swear, if that is my player, I would lose it. I would lose it. That's horrible behavior. And you know what was even worse?
Yeah.
Is that when Palmer goes to score it, they
Yeah.
don't go to celebrate.
Yeah. Jackson did.
Jackson did not
Jackson did-
celebrate with him.
Of course, Madueke understood that he was wrong and he gets him to say, I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? It's like
Correct.
playing for the batch, right? You're leading that much. What did you make of it?
Oh, it's embarrassing. I mean,
Poch was furious.
Yeah, Poch was here. He said he will never accept that again, and he's now finally publicly named Palmer as our penalty taker, which he should have done a long time ago. But like you leave it to Chelsea to show a kind of mental fragility even in a 6-0 win, and
That is something
God.
which is also costing you games in terms of also the mentality.
Yeah,
There has to be a team mentality.
Exactly. I don't. I mean, sure, 4-0 up, you want to add one to your tally or get
And
one
it's
on
not
the
like
board.
Jackson was on a hat trick.
No,
He just
no,
scored
no,
one.
No.
I can understand if Jackson's on 2
Yeah.
and Palmer's already got his hat trick.
Yeah.
So Jackson is like, still, you cannot
Yeah.
fight like that,
Oh my
right?
God.
You cannot. You're practically fighting on the pitch, leading 4-0. I'm like, what the hell is that?
There's a wonderful piece of satire on The Athletic about that whole sequence. It's really funny if you're a neutral, and it's really annoying if you're a Chelsea fan, because
No, it was annoying for me.
yeah,
I
but
was
like
what
for
the hell
most
is that?
neutrals
It's
they'd
like
be
childish.
yeah, it is
behavior.
very
स्कूल
childish.
के डीएसओ में ऐसे लड़ते थे भैया स्कूल के टूर्नामेंट्स में ऐसे लड़ते थे हम लोग
Jackson, like at one point, Jackson goes away and then he comes flying back into it when Palmer joins that phrase. Just, I'm glad I didn't watch that live. Like, that would have really
It
got
would have
me.
pissed you off.
Oh,
I think
for sure.
Gallagher sorted it out pretty well.
Thiago Silva had to speak to both
Had-
Madueke and Jackson, and
Yeah.
then Gallagher had to take the ball away from Madueke and
Give it to Palmer.
give it to Palmer. And even then, Jackson and Madueke are still trying to get it
Arguing
off Palmer.
behind
It's
when
just
he was-
so
It's
unnecessary.
ridiculous.
Stupid. Also, in the press conference, Poch walked out, by the way, in that press conference, because we won 6-0 and all he got questions for was that incident. And at the end, he was like, sorry,
Yeah.
not having it. He actually had an argument with the journalist, but sure.
It's a really good morale boosting win.
Yeah.
Should I got it. But should go ahead and build confidence.
We've had so many false starts.
We've had a more confident Chelsea fan in the video previously who
Yeah.
was, are you going to take that route?
I see after like 3-4 times you start getting a bit kind of cautious with your optimism. We've had so many false dawns. This really feels like penalty incident aside, really feels like it could lead on to a lot of good things. And we face City next in the FA Cup semi-final, which is don't laugh. We have done a lot
Please
better.
do it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
We've
laugh,
done a
bro.
lot of-
Support
nahi,
them.
le आओ.
We want to win the FA
Yes,
Cup.
yes.
If you can hold on to a lead after 99 minutes, then sure.
You're welcome.
Shut it.
You have our support.
Yeah, but hopefully, 15th time lucky maybe. I would like for it to mean something, lead to something good and at least get one trophy. But yeah,
You want to add anything on Chelsea?
It was the perfect game that they wanted.
apart from the penalty incident.
Apart from the penalty incident, which was really funny in my opinion, but
yeah.
Anything on
really
Cole
good game.
Palmer? Has to travel to the Euros, no?
again 2 words. Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips.
Calvin Phillips as a central attacking midfielder
Yes.
over Cole Palmer.
वो खेलेगा भाई, वो कुछ भी कर सकता
Just before ending, Cole Palmer's right position, do you think he's more effective playing centrally or right? Because I felt he was really good as a central attacking midfielder. Where does that now leave? Because when you have the likes of Enzo and Caicedo and you have Palmer playing as a 10, you have to sacrifice Gallagher. So do you think his position is better in the center, where he's more dangerous in terms of facing the goal, or out wide?
I think it also depends on the opposition, because when he did start against Sheffield United in the centre, he was crowded out fairly easily, because then all the Sheffield United players knew that, oh, this guy's already in the centre, he'll just crowd out that space. But when he's out wide, he can just start drifting into these positions, and that makes him a lot more dangerous and unpredictable. But I just think it depends on the opposition. The tactics have to change game to game. But you mentioned players who might lose out. I think the bigger ones are Nkunku. Where does he fit in now? I don't know. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe you'll have to push him out on the wing.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe in the place of Mudryk.
Yeah,
Mudryk had a good game, but
Mudryk had a good game.
and
Jackson
Nkunku
also
will
had
be
a
more
good game.
consistent.
Yeah.
than
I think we had a lot of good games. Shout out to Alfie Gilchrist, by the way. He's got his first Chelsea goal from the academy, and it meant so much to him. You could see it in the celebration. But
बेच देंगे.
of course,
FFP.
PSR.
FFP.
PSR.
Anyway, with that, we've come to the end of the show. It was a really fun one. Lot of conclusions from this game week, and we've finally got our Premier League winners as well. Do the usual drill. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you feel in the comments below as well. Get the interaction going, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.